Here's what happens if you go on to J.D. Vance's account and you stand up to him for anything. And I didn't cuss, I didn't call names, I spoke respectfully, but I asked him to resign because he's done more damage to the VA. And I've been a veteran for over 30 years, and I've seen him do damage to the VA more than I've seen in all my 30 plus years as a veteran. And so this is what they do. It says that I have inauthentic behaviors. So Elon Musk is systematically limiting people with this nonsense about how your account has a label. They're saying you have inauthentic, like you're spam. And I rarely go on Twitter because it's just disgusting of a platform anymore because of who's running it. And like maybe once or twice a week, I literally just went on there and I posted 2 posts on J.D. Vance's account. And this is what they're doing. They're trying to control speech, yet he's all about free speech. I'm just doing this video just to show you. And that's okay, because I'm going to keep on. I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm not saying anything in a way that's inappropriate. Here's my 3 posts that I said that he just couldn't deal with. I said, how dare you hide behind a kid cancer survivor to deter away from cancel of cancer research and Medicaid, Medicare, when it's already hard to get timely care in this country. And in honor of millions of kids affected, stop exploiting that kid. What talking about, using a kid who survived cancer during a congressional speech that was a year early, by the way. And while they canceled pediatric cancer research and then cutting and slashing Medicaid and Medicare, okay, and that it's already hard enough for people to get timely care that they need. For the millions of kids that's suffering with cancer that still need treatment, it's disgusting. So anyways, then he recently was talking smack about Ukrainians. So there was a protest, there was a rally, there was a pro-Ukrainian rally, which there's many of them around the country. So he goes out with his 3-year-old to where they're having a rally, okay? He's chasing pro-Ukrainian rallies and toting his 3-year-old with him to do so. So he just happens to be out and about with his 3-year-old daughter, knowing that everywhere around there is going to be pro-Ukrainian. So they're just like aghast. These pro-Ukrainian protesters are horrified that they're on their way. They're just walking and they're on their way to this rally. And here he is. He's like waiting for them, comes out of the building, and he's out there on the sidewalk. And of course they're like, oh, there's the vice president. So they're approaching him. He lies on them, says that they're shouting at him. And you can see in the video very clearly, for what was shown in the video anyways, nobody was shouting. And so he's like trying to hide behind his little 3-year-old daughter. Like, oh, you're upsetting my daughter. Dude, why you got your daughter out chasing protests? Why are you out and about where there's protesters for Ukraine? There's literally a rally there. Why are you taking your 3-year-old daughter to a Ukrainian protest? So, I'll tell you why. So he can play victim and have an excuse to talk smack about Ukrainians as if they're horrible people. Because this is propaganda. I'm telling you, it was completely planned. It said, this is what he says. It's just like, it's disgusting what he does. It's today, while walking my 3-year-old daughter, a group of Slavic Ukrainian protesters followed us around and shouted as my daughter grew increasingly anxious and scared. I decided to speak with the protesters in hopes that I could trade a few minutes of conversation for them, leaving my toddler alone. Nearly all of them agreed. It was a mostly respectful. And then he starts cussing and saying horrible things about them. It's like, first of all, keep your children away from protests. Okay, if you know that you're the one who's attacking Ukraine and cutting off their aid and telling lies on their president and threatening to send 250,000 Ukrainians back to a war zone that you claim you want to see the death stop, yet you're willing to send 250,000 people back into the war zone because they won't sign over assets to you guys. Well, don't take them to protests where those victim people are really the victims because of your actions. I mean, he's literally chasing pro-Ukrainian rallies with his toddler so he can play victim. That's how disgustingly desperate he is to be seen as a victim when he's really a monster for what he's doing. Oh my goodness, he is destroying the Republican Party. Literally, there is so much division in the Republican Party that they're just like, you have people walking out of the Republican Party. I'm telling you now, I'm going to mark it right now. As I speak, you will see it done. The Republicans will no longer have lead for what is being done. You're going to cancel 80,000 veterans employees from the VA, destroying the VA. I've been a veteran for over 30 years, and I've never seen so much damage done to the VA in all my 30 years than what they have done. Planning to, oh my gosh, and then just to attack our allies, attacking Canada, Panama, Greenland. I mean, it's disgusting what he's doing. Like, oh my gosh, destroying our own country. People on the eastern part of our country and the northern part of our country, their communities are suffering because of this stupid trade war. He's just dumb. This man, Donald Trump, has done good in closing the border that needed to be done immediately. But let me tell you something about that. Those Republicans and Democrats both had a duty to stop that flow of people invading our country, abusing the refugee system, misappropriation of funds, violating the yearly cap, okay? They didn't do anything to stop it because all those funds that were appropriated to those refugee programs in violation of the amount that's supposed to come in each year, they were voting on it, guys, okay? So they're just like liars. And what people really need to be doing is they need to be figuring out where exactly did those billions of dollars go that those Republicans and Democrats both were voting. Why didn't they stop them from, why didn't they take it to court? Why didn't they impeach Biden? Because it would have been easy to do. He violated federal statutes that says clearly that every year Congress decides how many people can, come in on refugee status. And Biden had that open borders, just let them come in, sneak in and fall under, it didn't even matter if they entered through the ports of entry, they can still sign up for benefits. I mean, it was a complete abuse. They let all these people come in, and then they appropriated all those funds. We don't have any accountability for those funds. And now they're all acting like they're against it. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't stop it then. Okay. This aid that was appropriated for Ukraine, that money left the Treasury because it was appropriated. You have $55 billion not yet distributed to Ukraine. And they're all lying and saying that there's missing money. Yeah, because y'all took it. Y'all do know that Ukraine didn't get $300 billion. They didn't get the cash. They got equipment. They got aid. We had to take that money that was appropriated and replenish our supplies and military weapons and so forth, because we sent a lot of it over there. So we had to make more. So a lot of that money was replenishing our own supplies. It wasn't cash just handed over to them, but there's $55 billion not yet appropriated as of December 31st, 2024, that 30 Republicans and 45 Democrats voted to appropriate to them. And now they're acting like they don't want them to have aid. And this is funds that's already been released. It's just so stupid. Our Republicans voted for that aid for them. And it's completely tyrannical what they're doing. And then that money that is missing. Okay, we have money missing. Funds that was appropriated to different programs. These programs, especially for refugees, that hasn't even been spent. That's what they did. They used these immigrants. They used these refugees. And then they just sat there and acted like it's all Biden's fault. And I'm telling you now, I've already shared the video of what the federal statute says. That there's a cap on how, it's only like a couple 100,000 refugees, people that can come in and apply for asylum status each year. They were coming in by the millions under refugee status. Millions, right? And they did it under the Republicans' watch. They didn't take it to court and get an emergency injunction to stop the violation of that cap, which violates the federal statutes. They didn't, impeach Biden because they're in on it. And Vance he's such a liar. For him to go chasing Ukrainian protest rallies is just disgusting. He should be ashamed of himself. And Elon Musk is he's the worst. Everybody was happy that he took over Twitter, right? But he is I'm telling you right now, he will block people if you even stand up at all. 3 comments. I made 3 comments, right? And so you're not allowed to have your voice heard on the most dictatorship website that there is on the internet now, and that's called Twitter. I will never call it stupid X. Never, right? But it's just we have to pray for our Republican Party, because I'm telling you right now, before the 2026 election terms happen, the Democrats will have the majority by just Republicans walking out. We had, I think it was Thatcher. He left the Republican Party because of the stupid stuff that these Republicans are doing. You have a group of 15 Republicans that are oligarchs. They're literally pro-Russian. They're pro-Putin. They're compromised people because of Trump. He is compromised. He's absolutely compromised. Having some of the things that he does that is good, okay, it's not making up for the horrible things that he's doing that's destroying our country, right? And Elon Musk is he's a monster, in my opinion.